Hi, this is Vicki with My Paper Connection. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and today I'm going to make a really pretty Christmas card. I'm going to be using the gift wrap stamp set and the punch that goes with it. I'm actually not going to be doing it in the garden green though. We're going to do it in real red, which is the opposite side of this paper, and it's going to be so pretty. Before we do that though, I just wanted to tell you really quickly, last weekend was our onstage convention. It was virtual because of, well, 2020. I was able to get my hands on the mini catalog, and I am so excited. I love everything in it. Now, if you would like to get one of these catalogs, let me know. Just send me an email or just go to my website at mypaperconnection.com and hit contact. And let me know, and I'll be happy to get one of these out to you. That's provided that you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I would love to be yours, so just let me know, okay? All right, so let's get started. I just wanted to show you this. This paper is from Tidings, Toile, I believe is the name of it. And it's the same paper as this. It's just the other side of it. See? And recently, I had a card class, and it had to be in the garden green, but I gave them the option of choosing whichever pattern that they wanted. These are gorgeous. Look at the greenery and it's red, but look at the foliage and the poinsettias, and then here is like a winter scene, and then this is a winter scene, but it has animals. And I was really happy to see that there were a variety of the cards being made. Not everybody wanted the same one. So it really made me happy that I just pre-cut them and put them in a little bag and let them choose which one they wanted. And it was just so fun to see what everybody did. So for today, I'm actually going to use the one that has the foliage and the poinsettias on it. For my card base, I chose Real Red. It's 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to fold it and burnish it. Because I wanted my card to look like a gift wrap present, I cut my designer series paper the same size as the card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5.5. And you can do this. You can do this one of two ways. I wrapped my ribbon around the inside and tied it in a knot on the out. Some of my customers and my class attendees actually wrapped it around the designer series paper and then glued that on. It didn't bother me because I kind of wanted to make it look like a wrapped present. It didn't bother me that it was on the inside. And I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue my designer series paper onto the front of my card base. I love Tombow because if you don't get it just perfectly, it gives you just a little bit of wiggle room that you can move it around. There we go. The next thing I'm going to do is to bring in my Real Red ink, and I'm going to use my bow stamp. Before I stamp it though, anytime that you're using a punch, you want to look at your punch and make sure of where the positioning is. And so in this case, the bow is in this direction, so I wouldn't want to do it like this. So you want to make it where it's going to be easy to punch out. The next thing I'm going to do is to actually color in the lines. You can see that it's a hollow look with the stripes, and I really wanted it to look like solid so that it would really stand out. So I'm going to use my Real Red Stampin' Right marker, and I'm just going to go along these lines and color that in. And I'll fast forward through this. Okay, so now I'm just going to bring in my punch, feed it down in, and I almost always flip my punches upside down so that I can make sure of where I'm guiding it to. And then I just punch it out. Now, I wanted to use that tag. I did not give myself enough space. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to do it again so that I have access to that little tag. And you'll notice that there's another little piece that pops out as well right here. And basically what this little piece is you could You could punch it out in sparkly paper and you could place it right there in the center, and that would be the center of that bow. Okay, rather than using sparkly paper, I am going to use my red felt paper. It's so pretty. So I'm just going to cut off a little piece, just like that, and we'll put that in the center. This is going to be so pretty. So what I'm going to do now is just take a little bit of glue and place it on the back of this felt piece. And then I'm going to put it right in the center of that bow. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. Okay, I'm just going to let that dry. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm bringing my ink pad in, and I'm just going to stamp my sentiment on the inside of my card. And then I have these little holly leaves that I'm just going to accent the card. And I'm going to use these same holly leaves. And I'm getting inky all over. I'm such a mess maker. I'm going to just stamp those on the tag like that. Okay. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is to bring in my sentiment and just going to stamp up a piece of 3 1/4 by, I don't know, maybe 2 1/4, like that. I actually don't like the placement of that. So let's try this again. I'm going to move it up just a little bit. There we go. Okay, that's got all of my stamping done. So now what I'm going to do is to bring in my Pick-a-Punch. And I'm going to, there's 2 different shapes that you can use. I'm going to use this one. And it even has grooves that you can do 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, or a whole inch. Now the best way to do this is to flip it upside down. Anytime you're doing any of these small ones, you want to flip it upside down and then guide it and make sure that it is even. Now you can see, even though it has grooves, it's not completely even on each side. And that's because of the way I cut it. So I'm just going to even it up a little bit and trim it. Then I'll flip it over. And then I like to put it on the right direction with the print side up. And then I'll feed it back in. And I'll make sure that it's even again. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I have a piece of 3/4 inch by 5 1/2 of real red. And the reason I'm putting this on this is because I tried to use some real red ribbon. It just didn't show up as much as I wanted it to. It didn't have the striking appearance that I wanted it to have. And I didn't feel that this would show up either. For these cards, I used a piece of garden green cardstock under it. And you can see it really showed up nicely. So what I'm going to do is then wrap a piece of the sheer lace, very vanilla ribbon around it. And I'm going to tie a knot. But before I do that, I'm going to get a glue dot, place it right there in the center. This helps me because what it'll do is when I tie my knot, it will stay in place and it won't get loose on me. I have a little bit too much, so let's try this. Okay, here we go. So I'll just, as I'm tying that knot, I'll press it down onto that glue dot like this. And then it's going to stay. Then I don't have to worry about trying to keep my finger there. I also have reverse tweezers that work really nice as well. Oh, that lace is so pretty. All right, and I'm just going to cut off. All right, then we're just going to add dimensionals on the back of our bow. And I'm just going to place that right across the front there, like that. And then remember this little piece? I'm just going to use a little piece of this braided ribbon. Just going to cut a very small piece off. I'm going to use a glue dot again. I'm going to roll it up. place it right here on the top, kind of half on, half off. And then I'm going to make a V out of this, place it here on the front as if it is the tag. And then I will take another glue dot, because you know I love me some glue dots, and I'll put it on the back here, these two. And then I'm just going to tuck it up under here. I probably should have done that before I stuck the tail of the ribbon down. I think I'll trim this off a little bit. Then I'm going to just add my dimensionals on the back of my sentiment. And you can adjust this if it's not exactly where you want it to be. Then I will glue this in on the inside and we are done. And look how pretty. Aren't these beautiful? I just love how they turned out, and they were so easy to make. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that if you haven't already, you'll hit subscribe and ring the bell, and then you can get notice of future videos. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Tell me which one of these you like the best. I love them all. They're so cool. Also, if you would like one of the new catalogs that will be coming out in December that you can order from in January, also let me know about that too. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.